Here we are once again, episode 6. We made it 6 episodes, Ray. We made it 6 episodes.
I mean, you can stop counting too, by the way.
Well, I'm counting because I like to count. I'm like to count on Sesame Street. One.
One. Ah.
All right, here we go. My name is Dave. As you can see, I am Dave, the man, the myth, the legend. That's right. That's right. This is my brother Ray, and we are.
Preachers from the bleachers.
Right, we're talking at you. We're talking at you about sports and everything else. So here we go. I just want to let everybody know, remind you that you can check us out here on YouTube, or you can go to anchor.fm/preachers from the bleachers and listen to us on podcasts. You can search that on Spotify. We're on there too. And I think that propagates to several other podcast sites too. So forward that to anybody you think might be interested. As always, make some comments, ask some questions, do whatever you want in the comments section, or email us, or if you've got our email, or in the group chat, man. We love to hear from the brotherhood all the time. So let's get to it. All right. So New York, Texas, and California are working on opening up sports again without fans. So I think they're trying to get spring training started here in June in Texas. And I don't know if they're going to play the games here, what they're going to do. What did you hear about that so far?
Why New York? Like that's all, like like of all the places to put sports or anything at this point, why New York? I don't know, man. Like if I play for the New York Mets or the Knicks or the Giants, I don't know if I want to play in. Hey, ain't no fans anyway. I don't know if I.
Yeah.
Listen.
I heard Cuomo on TV talking about, we need to get sports back. And I'm like, dude, you have got the biggest problem with coronavirus in the United States, and you're the one talking about we need to get sports back right now. I'm like,
sports should come back. I mean, I think we mentioned this before. Dana White already showed us it could be done with no fans.
Yeah.
I don't think the fans aren't important, but I mean, they're not important to the point of actually playing the game. I don't think it's going to make any athlete play better or worse if there's stands, considering the times. If they just simply, if this was for no reason, they said, hey, we're not going to have no fans in the stands, I could see where it might make a difference. But I mean, we all human. We all understand the time that we're in. I think these athletes going to go out there and do what they do. I think they might even play. Maybe they might play a little better because they know we need it right now.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I mean, NASCAR's already back. They had a race this weekend at Darlington, South Carolina. No fans in the stands. But I think golf played a charity event this week.
Who won that?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Man, let me say something.
I forgot it was on.
You know, as bad as we want sports right now, we did not watch the charity event. That tells you everything you need to know. And if I recall, this charity event not only had Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, didn't it have Peyton Manning and Tom Brady?
Yeah.
But yet nobody really watched it. Somebody gonna have to show me the ratings on that because I can't even find it on my ESPN app. I've been looking trying to figure out who won.
Yeah.
Nobody can. But you know what? Charity is good, so they did a good thing. But I think that might have took a little bit of the oomph out of it because they were just playing for fun. You know what I mean? Like I ain't trying to watch my professional athletes play for fun.
Well, of all the sports coming back with no fans, if I'm a golfer, that I think I play better with no fans there. I don't have to worry about maybe if I shank one hitting somebody in the face, and I don't have to worry about walking through crowds to go to the next hole and all that kind of crap. Yeah.
I don't think professionals, you might worry about that. I don't think professionals worry about hitting somebody in the face.
It's happened. I mean, I've seen professionals,
They got a better idea where the ball going than you will do. That's all.
Even so, without fans there, I think being a golfer, I think I'm more comfortable with that because it's quiet on the course. You're just playing golf. It's you in the course, and you're not having to deal with people standing.
I don't think it matters at all in NASCAR. You in the car going 200 miles an hour. What difference does it make? You can't even hear the people.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
your engine is the loudest. It's probably the only thing you can hear other than listening to your crew chief. And I told you about the time I went to NASCAR, turned the brother out.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about the time you took me to the NASCAR event. I
Yeah.
went to the NASCAR event with a job I was working. They said it was a field day.
Uh-huh.
And what she said was, hey, it's field day. We're gonna go out over here to Texas Motor Speedway and go watch the races. I thought that meant I could go home. So I made a left, I made a right, and she said, "Oh no, you either come to the races or you go back in the office and work." I was like, "Well, she had always wanted to check out Jeff Gordon. Let me take my butt on over to to the racing." But it was the coolest thing, man. I had never experienced it. And it was just a redneck boy, white boy sitting in the stand, and he could tell a brother had never been there before, and he figured, how he tried. In my opinion, he tried to make a new fan, which he did. He gave me his headsets. I didn't know you could
Oh
buy a joint like this. Listen to what they be saying in the cars to the crew, and you can switch. I mean, you from North Carolina, so you probably know this, but you can switch from driver to driver, or you can just stay with one driver.
Yeah.
And that was the most exciting part, other than the crash. I mean, the crashes are always cool, especially when nobody get hurt. But I mean, it's like they just all got road rage. That some bitch cut me off. I was like, man, this is the coolest thing ever. So I never go to NASCAR without spending that extra 50, 60 bucks to get them headsets. Cause it's you right there. You riding shotgun with Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that part. So yeah, that NASCAR is cool, and you don't need no fans for that. It's just you and your crew. That's all you need.
You know what I like more than NASCAR about racing is dirt track racing. Have you ever watched dirt track racing on like a Friday night? Man, that's awesome because
I just got into NASCAR.
we need to listen. We need to find a dirt track somewhere and go watch some dirt track racing on a Friday night. That is some fun to watch because those guys are trying to make it and skidding around the track.
Oh, are these guys that's not? You say make it like they're trying to get to a NASCAR circuit?
Yeah.
Oh, but why the dirt though?
That's really where the racing started. I don't know why they do it on dirt, but it's just really cool.
I thought racing started with moonshiners.
Well, it did, but they were racing on dirt. They were back roads and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so if we ever get a chance, we need to go see some dirt track racing on a Friday night.
In Charlotte.
It is some fun stuff.
In Charlotte, they gotta have some dirt.
You're right.
Yes. I'm pretty sure they running races all day, every day out there. Somewhere. We ain't plugged in, but yeah.
All right. That's on. I'm going to start looking now. All right. So here we go. Okay, next. NFL is working on N95 masks for players. You think that's going to work? Like as a former player, how do you feel about wearing a mask under your mask?
N95. What does N95 mean?
It's the special face masks for like medical and healthcare workers and stuff that can prevent you from getting the coronavirus. Like it lets fewer particles through than most other masks.
I'm gonna say this: it ain't gonna work for none of them big boys. None of them. We need all the air we can get.
Like that's what I'm thinking too, man. If you're running like a 50-yard sprint down and you're going to come back wearing that mask, you need some oxygen like right away.
Coach, take me. They need oxygen when they run it without a mask on your face. Right. I just don't see how anything impeding your breathing and playing athletics can be good. However, if that means that's the only way they could come back, then by all means, put the mask on, man. Listen, I said last week, I don't care. Listen, if they got to put masks on and put rubber gloves on and still play basketball, that's what they need to do, man. Just come on, bring sports back. You just add another element to the game. We'll see who's in shape and who ain't in shape.
It's getting interesting, man. Like Major League Baseball's proposal for coming back is like 67 pages. And there's all kinds of rules in there about things they can and can't do. No spitting, no hugging, no clapping hands, no. I mean, even in the dugout, they got to be social distancing, and that's their plan. I mean, so
we just give a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Great play.
Hey,
Great play, brother.
Play. All right.
Doesn't matter that you just tossed the ball to me on a double play and I had to grab it. I can't high five you. I gotta give you a thumbs up.
So we'll do an air high five. Give me a high five. There you go. So, man, it's going to be interesting what rules are coming up with. I don't know how basketball is going to do it. Man, there's a lot of contact in basketball. How do you?
They're going to have to live with it. They gotta live with the danger, man.
Yeah.
They gotta live with the danger. I mean, and the reality is, I am one of those people who go outside without his mask. So some of us is willing to gamble, some of us is not. I've read all the stuff about, one person with a mask and then two people with a mask. How is that limit the chances of it being transported by a whole lot? I don't even know the numbers, but it was a big number. I still just look at it like it's a lot. I remember when it first came out, I was the only one with a mask and gloves. Now that everybody is full on in that pandemic, I'm the only idiot without a mask and a glove.
Yeah.
I'm a contrarian. I just got to do my own thing.
So. Whatever the rule is, you're doing the opposite.
Whatever you tell me I can't do, Ray gotta do it. That's just how I go.
I got a story about that. There's my sister's best friend when we were in elementary school had a little brother would do exactly what you told him not to do. So he'd get a candy bar or something like that. She'd tell him, "You better not give me any of that candy bar," and he'd just give it right to her. That's what I think of when I think of that. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, man, I can't wait to see what some of the rule changes and proposals and all that stuff are working out and playing are going to be, man. Because boy, it's going to be just a crazy world. I know, like I said, basketball is going to have a tough time. Any contact sport's going to have a tough time. Football, I just don't know how they're going to do it, even with just a mask.
I believe less than an hour ago, the NCAA said they're coming back. They said it's a done deal. And I think also less than an hour ago, the NBA said, yeah, we're going to figure this out by June 1st.
Right.
On whether we're going to do it or whether we're not going to do it.
Well, David Stern, Adam Silver had said that he thinks they'll need like 15,000 tests just to complete the seasons because they're going to have to be continuously.
But how he come up with 15,000? They still don't know what season they're going to do. Like that's really the biggest thing is. I hate to say this, and I hope it's not totally true, which is the union standing in the way. Because whatever they decide we got to do, the union got to sign off on it. So ultimately, what I'm really saying is there's LeBron, Chris Paul, and Kyrie Irving, do all the big name stars. If they say we coming back to play, then we coming back to play. That's what it really comes down to. Because don't nobody on the end of the bench, his vote, he get to register, but it don't really count.
Well,
they really want to know how the stars feel about coming back and playing.
Well, that's true.
What kind of season we gonna have? Is it gonna be a 5-game season? You and I talked about this many, many times. What season? What kind of season you talking about having? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, listen, most of the NBA teams have played about 75% of their schedule right now, so I think they'd be comfortable going ahead into the playoffs with that, with like a 3 to 5 game warm up kind of schedule kind of thing. So, I mean, that's what I would feel would probably happen, and I'm pretty sure that all the stars want to come back. They want to play, but they just want to know they're safe.
Well, definitely the ones, if you're in the playoffs right now, you want to come back. Yeah. But why if I'm Spencer Dinwiddie, why I want to come back to play 5 games?
Because you get paid for 5 games. Otherwise, you don't get paid for 5 games.
True that. So let me just say this thing. What if I'm an extremely frugal Spencer Dinwiddie? Why I want to come back and play 5?
Then you definitely want the money for 5 games.
I'm good, no matter what. I got 75% of my money. I'm straight. If you're a frugal dude and you're in the NBA, you got some money. What's 5 games? That just seems like. If I'm not in the playoffs right now, and the 5 games does not affect me, like if I go 5-0. And another team go 0-5 and I can get in the playoffs, if that's not the scenario or any scenario in between there, why do I play these 5 games? Well, it makes sense. If you the Bulls, if you anybody on the Bulls, why are you playing these 5 games?
Well,
other than money.
I'm a frugal guy. And from a frugal guy standpoint, because I'm not frugal because I'm cheap, I'm frugal because I have been poor and don't want to go back to being there. If I'm a frugal guy, I'm taking that 5 games worth of money and I'm putting it in a savings account or somewhere where it's not going to go anywhere, where it's extra cash if I need it down the line. That's why
a good point, because
I play.
we don't know if Corona gonna be back next year.
And we don't know if Spencer Dinwiddie's going to be back next year.
Spencer coming back. He already got paid.
Okay.
Spencer got his money. He's straight. He's straight.
All right. But there's a lot of those guys that don't know if they're coming back next year. We'll see. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the sports getting started again. I'm just interested to see how it's going to all work out. So, all right. Are you watching any of the sports on TV now that are like replays and stuff like that?
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. It's like when somebody tell you the end of the movie and they spoil it for you.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you try to get into the movie, unless that's an exceptional movie, like we're talking about the movie that's going to be, nominated for Best Picture, you can sit through that knowing the ending. But if we're just talking about one of these slacker white boy movies like Accepted. By the way, I love white boy slacker movies that just, grandma's boy. Man, you tell me the ending, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it. That's what we're watching of sports. We're watching B movies. These basketball, baseball games is horror. And one of the reasons is because they actually showing the KBO League on ESPN.
The Korean baseball?
Yeah. We watching Korean baseball live because it's live.
Yeah.
Live matters.
Yes. live sports matter.
Live sports matter. Somebody, man, don't put this on the podcast. Let me get that down. I gotta put that on. I might have to
You gonna trademark that?
I gotta trademark it, baby. I gotta trade live.
Oh, we do. Oh my God, we can sell all kinds of T-shirts. Oh my gosh.
We could be the only guys in the stands with Live Sports Matter T-shirt. Somebody gonna steal this day. Somebody gonna see this. It's gonna be one dude watch this podcast. He gonna steal that, and we gonna be mad as hell.
If it's from the Brotherhood, we're coming after you.
The podcast is dated. When we still be able to get paid?
I don't know, man. It takes a while to get a copyright or a trademark.
I got a gun, though. You still?
No.
Allegedly, maybe, perhaps. I'm just
allegedly.
Allegedly, I might shoot you.
So, man, I forgot where I was. Live Sports Matter. So I haven't been watching any of the replays either. I mean, I love Dirk. I miss Dirk, and I still can't watch all the 2006 and the 2011 championship. I can't watch it.
I ain't even watching The Last Dance, brother. I can't even watch The Last Dance. I'm so sick of watching replays. We watched the first 2 episodes, and I thought it was going to be something great. Apparently, the rest of America loves it, but I ain't finna watch this rerun. Again, me being from Chicago, a lot of these stories I know. Obviously, they're telling me a little more than even I knew, but I know too much of the story. It all feels like a replay to me too. Pass.
Well, see, I know enough of the story too, and it just honestly, man, it just seems all about Mike. Like it was done. We're gonna get into this in a minute. let me put that off for a second. All right, so we talked about the replays and all that kind of stuff. So I want to cover some stuff. We got a question this week from the audience from Albert. So I want to cover that kind of
the audience. Big ups.
You're right.
Big ups to my man Albert. He the only person that listen to this show every week. He listened more times than my mama have. Big ups to Al.
And tell him why Albert listens right now.
Why does Albert listen?
Because you made a bet.
Yeah. Man, that's a story, man. I'm just gonna laugh the whole way through.
I forgot what the bet was, Ray, and it was about a football game. It was a national championship game.
Correct.
Okay, it was a national championship game. Albert thought it was LSU, and I forgot who played in the national championship.
Yeah, we don't remember the loser.
Clemson, yeah. so Albert thought, I think Clemson was going to win, so he bet Ray that Clemson was going to beat LSU
by a lot.
Ray said that's not happening, so they got down a bet that the loser couldn't talk about sports on the Brotherhood until Memorial Day. So when we started the podcast, Ray gave Albert a pass. He gave him a hall pass that he could talk about things we talked about on the show.
Right.
So Albert is listening to the show every week
Just
so he can talk about something. I think he likes us too. I think he probably listened anyway. I'd like to think that he would listen anyway, but
good, sweet man. He loves everybody.
All right. So Albert asked this week about do you think that Tom Brady got Gronk to come to Tampa by telling him that they got some good wide receivers there and he's not going to get hit as much? And my thought is no. I don't think that's what happened. I think Gronk didn't want to kick Gronk. I don't think Gronk really wanted to retire. He was just like done in New England. And so he retired. And Tom went to Tampa and he's like, all right, I'll go play again.
I'm going to agree with everything you said, but I'm sitting here realizing why people who do radio for a living don't take questions from the audience. They don't actually take questions. That's not an in-depth question. It's a yes or no answer, right? At least say, what do I think about it? Which I think we touched on that a couple times.
I told you what I think.
You still my boy. The bottom line is Gronk came back out for Brady, period. I think the coach is on record is saying that this was all Brady. That Brady reached out and, say, hey, Gronk, what about coming here? You know what I mean? Gronk did get beat up a lot. I mean, it's a big body. I love people who play big. I'm not a big fan of Gronk, but I'm a big fan of the fact that Gronk uses his big body, right? To catch bump left, bump right, rumble and stumble into the end zone. I love that part. They could take a toll on your body. And, Gronk wanted to smoke weed. Let's just call it what it is. That's what he was doing when he left.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know the next thing I'm going to do. And he started talking about CTE, body hurting, and, he wanted to smoke weed and you wanted to get paid to smoke weed. That's cool.
And they're not testing for it now, right?
And now we're not testing for it now. Same thing. I'm not going to be shocked if we see Andrew Luck next year. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to be shocked either.
Sometimes don't let your body heal. Football can be real physical, man. And, we're not all built the same. Some of us are a little more fragile than others. And so you keep getting hit. Sometimes you take a year off, let your body heal. I mean, it sounds crazy because I want to see these best people play, but ultimately you do want to run around and play with your children one day. Taking a year off might not be such a bad idea.
I agree with that. I agree with that completely. So, all right, something you sent me this week that I thought was funny.
Funny.
So the Kentucky cheerleading scandal.
Yeah.
So they fired all the coaches for the Kentucky cheerleaders, but the Kentucky cheerleading program apparently has won 24 titles in the last 35 years. So I didn't even know they had titles, but they've won 24 of them in the last 35 years. So at ESPN, the scandal was this, because there a lot of people where there was like some hazing and some stuff going on that the coaches looked the other way on, and some half nude jumping in the lake and all that kind of stuff, whatever it was. But whatever.
It's cheerleaders.
And it's cheerleaders, but ESPN compared them to Alabama football. They said they are the Alabama football of college cheerleading.
Yeah, I mean,
I laughed.
That's not disputable. Oh, you thought that was funny? I took that part seriously, seeing as though I'm a Kentucky Wildcat basketball fan. But that's undisputable. 24 titles, 34, whatever it is. That's
That's great.
I don't give a what you doing. As I have told you many times before, I got 600 wins in little kid basketball. I'm just probably 150 wins away from being in the Basketball Hall of Fame because they consider your whole career. So let's not poo-poo the fact that they got a lot of championships, but we will poo-poo the fact that, man, you got a lot of money when you start cheating and cheerleading. Let's get real. I mean, that's a lot of titles. I ain't got no shame. I know all these schools paying, but when you start paying for cheerleading, you got a lot of money. And I don't care what you say. You got to get the best people to come out and cheer. I mean, tossing them young girls up in the air like that, man. That's a skill. that's a skill. You got to get the best picker-uppers in the world and toss them, pick them up. That's a lot of money, That's a lot of money.
You know what I got to thinking is, man, I want to see the ESPN 100 in cheerleading. how do you do the ranking?
Little Susie somersaults are the best. She's top 3 in somersaults, but she's only number 50 in round-offs.
I want to see that ESPN Top 100, man. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to look for it.
Brother,
I want to see some cheerleading recruiting.
Don't be shocked. I seen enough cheerleading movies about, backstabbing. Wasn't it Texas? It was Texas with the back.
Oh, yeah. The mom killed the, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not shocked. Why are we shocked? But I'm still shocked. I'm just shocked that you could win 24 titles in anything. And if it's college sports or college competition and you win 24 titles in 35 years, it's some cheating going on. There's a bag man in the cheerleading game, player.
Look, somebody getting paid.
I need to get that job. I need to be the bag man.
All right. That was good fun this week, man. Lack of oversight. The coach is fired.
Lack of oversight in cheerleading.
And cheer.
Fight. The whole staff. They ain't fired just because they fired everybody, man.
That's right.
That's rotten. That's rotten to the core.
All of them. All right, so let's go to the offseason, man. I'm kind of interested in this Mike Tyson, Shannon Briggs fight, man. What do you think?
Well, I didn't even know it was going to be right until you just said that, man. Let me explain something to people who may not know if you watching this and you're 25 and you don't know who Mike Tyson is. Let me explain something to the people who 45 who think they know who Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was a knockout artist. After the old man died, after Customato died, and all these other trainers who might have been from the Customato tree, if you will, but it wasn't Customato, right? You can be from the Vince Lombardi tree, but you ain't Lombardi. And that guy had a special relationship and a way to get to Mike and made Mike real dangerous at 20. But by the time Mike had dated Robin Givens and been to prison and come out, man, listen, that guy was no longer a knockout artist. And he's an artist who lost his touch. Now, at 50, 53, and I'm going to fight another dude, 53, that I'm pretty 48. Sure, whatever. Yeah. He probably beat that dude up a long time ago. If we look at his record, Shannon Briggs probably, ain't that the brother with the braids or the dreads? I think he beat that dude up a long time ago. What makes y'all think he ain't going to whip that dude right now?
Listen. I don't know if he's going to or not, because I'm looking at the records right now. So the age, Briggs is 5 years younger. He's got 10 more fights. He's got 10 more wins. They both have 6 losses.
Did you say 10 more wins?
10 more wins.
Okay.
Briggs has 53 knockouts. Tyson has 44.
Quality of wins. So listen.
I don't know who he's fighting. I don't know.
You know enough about the fight game that they could really pub up your record and make it look like like somebody. You could be 25-0 and really only had 2 fights.
53 knockouts is a lot of knockouts, man.
Dude, I'm in boxing right now. I'm going to the gym when I leave this. I can step in the ring tomorrow and be considered a professional fighter, get hit on the chin and knock out, go get my payday, and he get another knockout. I'm just saying his stats is. Listen, you done talk me into it. Now I want to see Mike Tyson and Briggs out. It ain't going 2 rounds, bro. It ain't.
I don't know. We'll see.
The world of old fighters, Mike Tyson is there. It ain't Evander Holyfield. If you want to be excited, let me see him fight Evander Holyfield, because Mike has found a new peace and tranquility in his life. He ain't the savage animal that he was. You understand what I'm saying? Where he just out of control when he fought Evander. That ain't that guy no more. So I'm saying a more peaceful Mike Tyson might be a more technical and tactical Mike Tyson fighting an old Evander Holyfield. Let me see that one. I don't know about this Shannon Briggs, man. I ain't trying to hear that. I don't even know who Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs need a day job. He needed some cat. Which, by the way, I am not mad at Shannon Briggs. If they gonna do this, and they call, if I was Shannon Briggs and they say, "Hey, Shannon, do you want to fight?" Yes. I don't even know. If I'm Shannon Briggs, I'm not even waiting. You could have said Jesus, and I'd have been like, yeah. I still want to take the fight. He said, take the fight. It's paid. It's money. What you just say. Well, we're going to play these 5 games because they still going to pay me for 5 games. If they going to pay Shannon Briggs for one fight, he might as well take that fight one more time.
Well, looking at the tail of the tape, I'm interested in seeing that fight. I don't know if it'll go 2 rounds or not, but I'm interested in see what it's going to look like.
What's the important part of the tail of the tape?
The reach.
How many championships Mike got and how many Shannon Briggs got?
Oh,
that tape matters.
I don't know. So Briggs, his belt was the WBO, and then Tyson got the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, the IBS. Oh, that's not one. The Ring Magazine. I don't know. He's got a bunch of belts.
Yeah, all right. Nobody considering Shannon Briggs a top 10 fighter of all times.
No, definitely not. Yeah. So I don't know when it's going to be. They haven't announced a date yet, as far as I know. But I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna find somewhere to watch.
All I know is if I have to go to a bar, it costs $1 billion to sit ringside. All I know. That's what I know right there. And I ain't trying to pay no $59.95, no $79.95, no $89. $20. These mofos is old now. I ain't trying to watch $20 on pay-per-view. That's all I got for them. They better not charge that money.
I think it's fun watching old men fight. We need to make an underground, like one of those underground videos of old men fighting.
That's what I'm saying. Don't even bring that up, man. Don't even bring that up. You talking about old bum fights. That's a different kind of sport. And I have no idea why ain't nobody monopolized that one yet.
I don't know, man. Like retiree fight club or something, man. That's pretty funny.
Versus Trump. Oh, wait, they play for the same team. That's another story, different show. Yeah.
All right. So still in tailgating, we got beef. I got a couple of these this week that guys that have some problems with each other. Okay, so hey, let's get into the Jordan Rule stuff. So what about Ho Grant and Mike?
Keyword is Ho.
Why is he the bad guy?
Because his name is Horace Grant.
And why not? What makes him the bad guy?
It doesn't. I mean, I mean, just put it in John Sally's. What John Sally said in one of the parts of The Last Dance. And they were talking about how the Pistons walked out and all of that. And John Sally said this: when the Messiah came out and said we were classes, we were, bad guys, that was it. So even if Horace Grant is right, and he might be, I'm saying to you, when you have the amount of success like a Michael Jordan, a LeBron James, anybody that's huge on that level, don't matter what the sport is, you're going to get away with more. You know what I mean? The guy that sells the most product in the office, he leaves at lunchtime on Friday and he don't come back, and the boss don't say nothing. You see what I'm saying? When you're the primary reason for the championships, you're going to get away with a little bit. And if you're not, you're going to have to eat a little poo-poo. That's how I go. You're going to have to eat a little doo-doo.
That's fine. I'm not eating anybody's poo-poo. I ain't doing that, man. I'm like, listen, if you're telling lies about me, I'm going to come at you too. That's not okay. I don't care if you are the best. I don't care if you get away with more. If you're going to tell lies about me.
Says lies. We don't know.
Horace Grant's saying it's lies. I don't know if it's lies or not. Horace Grant's saying it's lies.
We don't know. We have two. That's where the term "we got beef" come from. You said what you said. Your mama said, and the mama said say the Montu side. We don't know who said what. Yeah. But we know what they said, but we don't know the real truth. That's a different
Michael.
We don't know the truth. It is a different Michael, but they both MJ. Anyway, my point is, we don't know the truth, man. And I'm just saying what I remember on reason why Horace Grant left is he wanted to shoot more. He said he could be just as good as a Scottie Pippen. That's what I remember as a teenager going.
I remember that. I remember that too. He wanted more offense.
What did he do when he get to Orlando?
Not a whole lot. About 17 points a game.
Yeah, you have to look. I'm 12 maybe.
And I thought it was a little more than that for a little while, but I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah,
He's
I
a
mean,
he was a solid role player. He's not even a great role player. He was a solid role player.
I agree.
And we needed him. Yeah, I mean, you need everybody to win a championship.
Yeah, you
But
did need him.
but don't get mad if somebody say, you know what I mean? Like the reason why I say we don't know, I can't remember if it came from Jordan or if it was another director. Or he was just saying, hey, everybody knows you got to have those two solid sources. You can't just come out there. It can't be one per. So he just, Horace Grant thing is just saying, well, why you ain't name the other person? That kind of made me feel like Horace did it because he didn't say why you didn't name two other people. Why? I mean, he said the other person, like he knew who it was. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was me and I didn't do it, I'd been like, what happened? And you happen to have two sources. Why are you assuming that I would be either one of these sources? He
Well,
said,
that's what I heard him say though. I heard him say, "He's like, look, you know what, the writer of the book was a friend of mine. I knew him, but he said I never would violate the sanctity of the locker room. That's not who I am. That's not what I would do." So he uncategorically denied that he leaked the book and that he leaked all the stuff that went into the book. So he said it was not him. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I
We'll
never
see.
know. We're never.
So I mean, what about Mike and his relationships? I mean, he's not talking to Barkley now. He's not talking to Ho Grant. He's not like Pip. He made Pippen look kind of bad in this Last Dance. I mean, all the
I, I heard him in the first episode. Mind you, I didn't watch them all. I've watched bits and pieces of everything from 3 to 10.
yeah.
But in the first two episodes, I heard him say, "When you say Michael Jordan, you have to say Scottie Pippen."
Well, I
So
agree.
so I may have made you look bad personally, but I mean, I think we can all see that that's just sour grapes on Mike. Mike wanted everything that Mike wanted it his way. Mike wanted me. Yeah,
Right.
hey, I agree with Scotty. I would have set out to, hey man, my knee hurt. I'd have did the same thing. I love Mike, but man, if I'm the 122nd, whatever the hell Scottie Pippen was getting paid, it wasn't enough. That's undisputable. There's
Yeah.
nobody in the world that would have said, hey, Scotty, man, you should have went back and played other than Michael, because he know he needed him.
Yeah.
Michael was concerned with Michael's legacy.
Well,
Michael wasn't concerned with
Michael
nobody.
did say that. Michael did say that in the first episode, but then the rest of the episode started making Scotty look like he was a bum, like he was just selfish, and he was. I mean, and Michael even said he was selfish.
He did.
Well, I mean,
Michael was
that's not the
concerned with
sum.
Michael.
But that's not the sum of Scottie Pippen's career. So yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of agree with Horace Grant on this thing, and they say that maybe Horace Grant was kind of defending his boy Scottie Pippen too, in that he made this whole thing made Scottie Pippen out to look pretty bad, but Scottie Pippen was an integral piece. Integral. I can't talk. Integral piece of that offense and of that team, and that's not the way that Jordan made him look. He made him look like he was a quitter and that he was a very selfish player.
See, I'm glad we're having this conversation because I don't see it quite the same way. He did make Scotty look bad, but he, in the way that he said it, and I heard it again. I only seen out of 3 to 10, I probably only seen an hour and a half total out of episodes 3. The way I see it and hear it, you can tell it's just sour grapes, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's just sour grapes. The man was trying to win more championships. He already had championships. It's now I come back from baseball. I'm trying to win. Man, I need this dude on the team. They got to stop playing, man. Stop playing. Michael, I don't care what Mike, again, I love Michael Jordan. It was just sour damn grapes. Michael wanted what he wanted, how he wanted, and when. And because I'm Michael Jordan, I feel like I should get it. But the other part is Michael played his contract out. So just to be fair, Michael didn't ask for more money. Even though I mean, before he had those last 3 contracts of 30+ million each 1-year deals, Michael wasn't paid either. Michael wasn't paid either. And he played it out, didn't ask for more money. And yes, Mike had $1 billion in endorsements, but he didn't ask for more money. Players today would ask for more money.
he didn't ask for more money, but his contract was much more fair to him at that time than Scottie Pippen's was. And in his defense, Scottie Pippen signed a bad contract. He did not have to sign that contract.
But this part, this is, I don't remember. I remember this is in the first or second episode where Jerry Reisendorf said he told Scottie don't sign the deal.
Don't sign it, right?
Right.
So that's on Scottie.
But it's on Scottie.
Right.
But still, you and I disagree with all these owners and the players making money. You don't make money without the players. So he could have paid him, Dave. And again, it was a different time period and contracts that was at the beginning of contracts was starting to bloom, where people were getting deals that made you go, he got what? Right. But for the longest, Michael was, he signed a 6-year, 20-something million, $25-30 million deal. Scottie signed a deal that was better than that. It just so happens right 2-3 years after Michael's deal was up, Scottie was only in the second or the third year of his deal, I think it was. So Michael making $30+ million and he making, a few dollars. And it really is Jordan and Scottie. I agree with Michael in the beginning. You can't say no doggone, you can't say Michael Jordan without saying Scottie Pippen. That's just the realistic of it. I love Scottie more than probably, not more than Michael. I've said this before. Michael is all about will. His skill level is not that great. It's his will. He come at you with, not saying he don't have skill, but his will is greater than his skill. Yeah. But the part I remember Michael Jordan saying how much he was envious of Scottie because Scottie could do things he couldn't do, like dunk off the dribble with his left hand. Yeah. And then I remember him saying that, and they were in the middle of the run, and I never had noticed it before. And then every time Scottie dunked on people with his left, I realized, oh yeah, that is sick. Yeah. Most people can't to just be able to. It didn't matter to him. And then I look at Scottie and his jump shot. This from us coaching basketball. I always told kids, man, hit the square. We got to go for the square. Hit the backboard. Hit the backboard. Hit the backboard. I got that from Scottie Pippen. Yeah. Pippen's jumper was kind of hard. It wasn't soft, but he would lay boom right off the bank that off the glass. All kinds of angles, man. It's one of those, when you a Bulls fan, you grew up in Chicago and you like the sport, you notice those little things that other people might not have. Scottie game was just worked on. He just worked. Yeah. So his skill, some of us are born great. I don't think Scottie was born to play basketball. I think he just put that work in.
Yeah.
So
and from a fantasy standpoint, Pippen was a top 10 guy when I was playing fantasy basketball. I started playing fantasy basketball like 1989. So, but he's one of those guys that we went after every year because he
filled the whole stack.
He filled the whole line. That's right. Michael he would score a lot and he would get you some assists and rebounds, but Pippen, man, he filled it all up. He got the steals and everything too, and Jordan ended up doing that too. Jordan was like the top guy. Of course, you want Jordan, but Pippen filled up the stat line. So, yeah. All right, so let's move on. One more. We got beef. I don't know if you saw this week or not about Michael Thomas and Devante Parker. Did you see this?
I heard about it.
Somebody put up like a Facebook or a Twitter poll or something like that. It said, which is tougher, making a catch while guarded by Stephon Gilmore or break up a pass while guarding Michael Thomas? And so Devante Parker weighed in, being a receiver, giving props to the defensive back, right? Giving props to Gilmore, saying, oh, that's tough. And Michael Thomas just took offense to that. And I just don't get that, man. Like, he wasn't taking a shot at you. He wasn't even involved in that. But they went back and forth like 5 or 6 times at each other. That's to you, because to me, is that somebody just looking for something to be butthurt about? There's no reason for Michael Thomas to get his feelings hurt about that. I love Michael Thomas, man, but there is no reason.
It says a lot about Michael Thomas because the tiger does not care what the antelope say. I wouldn't care about my prey. I wouldn't care about nothing. Right. You ain't on my level. he put this dude on his level. There's people that don't even know who Devante Parker is, but they know who Michael Thomas is because you've been that good over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Your last 3 years are Hall of Fame worthy, and you talking to a dude who's just a good NFL wide receiver. Why even? I wouldn't even acknowledge him. So something Michael Thomas might be the best receiver, no doubt, top 3. Nobody on the planet could question that he is top 5.
Yeah.
But why you bring a top 35 receiver into your realm? Like, I wouldn't even pay them attention. And the answer to the question is Gilmore. That's the worst part. He was right.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't gotta try to break up. Man, come on, man. Nobody want to be defended by Gilmore. He ain't Deion Sanders, but they might be cousins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, dog.
So yeah. Parker was just giving him some props, man, saying, yeah, he's a damn good player. So, I don't know. I think Thomas is a little bit insecure or something that he had to feel like, somebody was taking a shot at him when it was not that way at all. But so it was funny watching that go back and forth a little bit this week. So, all right. So let's move on to tailgating. It's a get to know Ray and a get to know Dave phase. All right. So we came up with, all right. Give me 5 people that you would want to have dinner with. They can be real or fictional, dead or alive. 5 people.
That's hard, man. And I'm gonna start with Obama just because when he was really coming up, he was coming up through Chicago, is where he cut his teeth at, as they say. Seemed like a sharp dude. I ain't never met him, and he is the first racial president. I said biracial. It is what it is. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, probably also, again, me growing up in Chicago in the headquarters of the Nation of Islam was there, and all the teachings. One thing that as a people, regardless of what your race is, when you see a member of the Nation of Islam, they always sharp. They always clean cut. They always speak with an articulate tongue. And so the guy that really set that off, even though there was a Honorable Farad before him, Master Farad before him, but Elijah is really the one that really kicked that off. And so just because of how, when I saw them, how it made me feel to have such Black pride. So just that guy, my great-grandfather, because he my great-grandfather, and one of the best, one of the best things that come out of being having a teenage mother is I got to spend time with my great-grandfather. I used to spend so many summers down there, and then he taught me stuff that I don't think I would have known just because he was so old, teaching something to somebody that was so young. Like, I learned the difference between dying and passing. And I used to ask him about relatives before him. I always was interested in history, whether it was mine or the country or the world. And I say, great granddad, tell me about like some of your people that, maybe your great granddad. And he would start telling me stories about, he was like, so-and-so died, and then so-and-so passed. And I say, hold up, great granddad, what you talking about passed? Why is that different? And he would say, passed mean they passed off as white folk and they lived the rest of their life as white. So I would have never learned that and things of that kind of nature if it wasn't for my great-grandfather. So just the wisdom that he passed along to me, I would want him to be in my top 5. And then Thomas Jefferson, because let's just call it what it is. His infinity for the African slave.
He had some jungle fever.
He had some jungle fever. So I just, and then last but least, number 5, shoot, man, I probably put you in there, man, because if it wasn't for you, it'd be a lot of dead people, man. People don't know you, my conscience. You're like my Jiminy Cricket. I call you when I think somebody need to be shot or something, and you always talk me off the ledge. So those 5 people will probably be the people, if I'm going to, have a dinner or whatever, there'll probably be those 5 people. I think it'd be a great conversation, because I'm assuming out of the 5 people, I get to be there too. I'm, number 6.
Yeah.
But I enjoy being in a room where I don't have to be the one doing all the doggone talking. I love to talk, but I believe that we should when you're the smartest person, when you're the least smartest person in the room, you should shut up and be quiet. Somebody's gonna pass you some gold nuggets that you might be able to use in your life. And I feel like if I'm in the room with those gents, I might learn something that might further my life and take it to a new level. So yeah, those would be my 5, and that would be the reason why.
Well, you at least get to talk to one of them every week, right here. So,
Right
and also to let you know, I have been passing all this time as a white guy, so I've been doing all right that way.
Yeah, it's working out for you.
It is. So my 5, man, I didn't go with like great people. Like I tried to talk to some other folks about this, and they wanted to say, Jesus and this, that, and the other. I just wanted to if I'm going to spend some time, I want to spend some time with people I'm really going to enjoy listening to the conversation. So I chose Albert Einstein, who, as smart as he was famous for his sense of humor, and Mark Twain. So Albert Einstein sitting there talking to Mark Twain, that conversation alone will be worth the price of admission. But then I want to throw in there Charles Barkley. So I'm hanging out talking to 3 really funny people with big differences in perspective from where they came from and who they are. Man, that would be awesome. And then I have 2 fictional people. I would want to hang out with Magnum PI, the Tom Selleck version.
I forgot about the new one. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you why Magnum PI, because when I was growing up, I would watch Magnum PI, and that is my idea of what a man should be. He was a loyal friend. He was tough. He got to live in paradise. He got to drive a Ferrari. Beautiful women loved him, and he was just a good man.
Yeah.
And he was a good looking cat, man. I mean, he was. So Magnum PI, and then there's a guy from a book that I read. I've read this book series. There's 10 books in the series, and I've probably read it 5 or 6 times. But it was he started in the series as a young child, and you got to see him grow through manhood throughout the 10 books. And his name is Garion. They changed his name to be Belgarian, and Belgarian when he became a sorcerer. So just him and his whole family were sorcerers, and his grandfather was the world's greatest sorcerer or whatever. But I think it'd be really cool to hang out with him, and maybe he could teach me how to be a sorcerer, because I think that would be awesome.
He could teach you a magic spell, make you look like Magnum PI.
He could.
Yeah.
But I've read those books so many times that he and his family kind of feel like family to me. So I know them pretty well. So anyway, but the conversation between Barkley and Einstein and Mark Twain is awesome.
And anybody, Barkley and anybody in that group, that would be. That I would pay for. You was like Albert Stein and Mark Twain. I'm like, no, I ain't paying for that. You said Barkley. I'm like, let me give him a wallet.
Yeah. But I mean, you have to know something about the wit of Mark Twain and Albert Einstein too. I mean, Albert Einstein is known obviously for the theory of relativity and how smart he was. But man, he was just a funny guy too. So
did Mark Twain wipe the glass menagerie?
No, I think that was Tennessee Williams.
My bad. The other white guy. My bad.
Yeah. But he wrote Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer.
Yeah.
Celebrated.
No, I was getting confused. We're talking about that story off the podcast. I tell you why. A story about Tennessee Williams is completely unrelated to this podcast show.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So, first of all, okay. So we're moving on to Ray's rumination, but give me the topic of Ray's rumination first.
The topic of Ray's rumination is the YouTube fans, the Spotify fans.
Okay, so hold off on that 1 second, because I didn't know if you were going to talk about this, so I was going to bring it up, but
okay.
I didn't want to ruin Ray's rumination.
No worries. Do your thing.
Tell me about Chicago. You went to Chicago this weekend. You saw your moms.
Man, I saw. Woo, I planned to just go see my mom, and then my mom was like, "Oh, you gotta go see Auntie Hannah." Man, we did it was a whole bunch of people. Big Albert came out. Shout out to Al.
I saw Al.
Um, I saw my cousin. I thought it was dead or was in prison, but he is not dead. He is not in prison, but he's still killing people. So let this be a lesson. If you mess with me, I gotta kill a cousin out there. He just love killing people, man.
Let's not talk about that on the podcast.
I'm just saying, it's the truth. It's the thing that I left Chicago with most, thinking, wow, my cousin is 48 and he's still out here.
Ray, you don't want somebody digging this up for any kind of evidence, man. So
you gotta be smart enough to catch him, and they don't know which cousin. I didn't say his name.
Got
a lot of cousins.
Or her name.
I heard that.
Allegedly.
Well, let you mention that. I do have a female cousin. I ain't gonna bring it up, but I do got a female cousin. I ain't gonna say she a killer, but she do like assault and battery. She is, is that. I'm just saying. Hey man, I'm from the projects, man. I know it's hard to believe sometimes when you listen to this voice, man, but it is what it is. I ain't the only one from the projects that got some cousins that do crazy stuff. That's why I got up out of there, bro. That's why I had to get up out of there. I'd be right there with them shooting people.
Right on. Right on. I'm glad you got out. So how'd the rest of it go? So great time with your mom and everything?
It was an awesome time with my mom and my son and his girlfriend. She is funny, not funny as in ha ha ha. Funny is like you know what I mean? Like she's just as loud and as goofy as she is, cute, but she good people though. So it was good times, good stuff.
She's like Latina, right?
Yeah. Your favorite.
Yeah, well, Dave likes the dark-haired lady, so yeah.
Ooh, she would have been, yeah. She definitely would have been something if you was in that age group that you would have. You would have had to holler at her. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So great. You had a good time. Everybody was it was a safe trip and all that stuff.
Any plane trip that lands in one piece is a good plane trip.
Yeah. So did mom cook for you this weekend?
No, man. My mom ain't been. Mom, I'm sorry. My mom ain't been able to cook in years.
Oh, okay.
Good anyway. She can cook, but one I don't know what Thanksgiving it was. I went home. This is I don't know, a decade plus. Came home and the dressing was green. I mean, I know what happened. It's cornbread dressing, right? Not stuffing. Yeah. Cornbread dressing. That's a different thing. The dressing was green. You know what I mean? Being a minor chef myself, I knew that she had put too much sage in there to make your cornbread dressing look green. But I ain't ate my mama's cooking since then. But we all had a drink together. It's funny, you know what I mean? Like at one point, we had 4 different generations in one room.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? So that's really cool, man. I was just thinking if my son almost had a scare where he was going to be a father, and that it could have been 5 generations. I don't know. I mean, but still 4 generations is a lot. But it was good times, good stuff, man. I hadn't been in Chicago in what, I don't know, 18 years or something. I don't know. It'd probably be another 18 years before we go back.
We'll see. If the Panthers play there, we'll go back and see that game. They got to do a home and home, so we'll go back. I got to go to Chicago. I've never been to Chicago, and I really want to go. So,
I mean, if you my brother, I love you. So if you say, "Hey, Ray, man, come on, take me to Chicago and show me around," I will do that.
But I ain't going to the projects.
You know what? They tore down Cabrini Green, brother. You ain't got to worry about that now. They gentrified the hell out of Cabrini Green.
I just don't want to run into your cousin.
I got a big shirt on with your face say this white boy with me.
All right, there you go. Have you seen this white boy? Please don't mess with him. All right, so the trip was good. Let's come on. Ray's rumination. Talk to me.
Ray's rumination today is I just want to shout out to the one young lady who keeps that she obviously listens to the show and she keeps sending me underwear. Stop sending me underwear. I have a lady love, and you need to get a 2X, baby girl. I'm not no medium. Get a brother a 2X.
Stop sending it, but here's the right size.
In today's dialogue.
You gotta give me a second, cause I gotta get serious. Hang on. Dave's dialogue. So we're going. I guess like the theme of some of my other Dave's dialogues, the "you suck" theme.
Just gonna make that. That's got to be a whole new segment. We just gonna get a segment. You suck.
Yeah, that's fun. Maybe you can join in on that too. So
that's what they call on-air production.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Well, I'm writing that down right now. All right. Microsoft, you suck. And here's why. Let me count the ways. I have Windows 10. So Windows 10 updates nonstop, it seems like. It's probably once a month, maybe twice a month, but that's too much. And every time you do it, we got to do it when you shut down or you restart or whatever. I'm sitting there waiting on my computer forever. So it's not so bad that you do the updating all the time, though it's very annoying. It's that my settings are always changed when it's updated. So like for years, I would have to reset my my mouse on my laptop every time you update it. Well, you fix something or whatever, and that doesn't happen anymore. But you know what? It's been 3 years since my function keys have worked correctly. So one of your updates, it switched the function keys where, you hold down the function key and you select the second of the function keys. And it's backwards, and I can't get it fixed, and I can't figure out how to fix it. And I've got Windows 10 Home Edition instead of Windows 10 Professional, which means there's a lot of stuff that I can't change because I'm not an administrator on my own machine. Or I am an administrator, I'm just not an administrator enough to change this or change that. So now moving into the second part of Microsoft sucks. What you've done is a lot of your software, like Microsoft Office and one we're involved in right now, Dynamics 365, you've moved that to cloud-based versions. So it's a subscription-based version for the Office products and also for the Dynamics 365. But what you've done with Dynamics 365 is that you update that as well all the time. So it's an ERP system. It's an inventory management.
I got you. You might need to tell people you got a master's in IT because right now you nerded out on them for a minute. But Microsoft still stuck.
Microsoft, it's work software, basically what it is. So, but they update it so often that you can't really train on some of the old stuff. And because it's on the cloud-based stuff now, they don't print manuals anymore. So you can't buy a manual at Barnes & Noble or have Amazon send you one and read through the manual. You've got to find YouTube videos or LinkedIn Learning videos, which LinkedIn Learning, good job. You're doing great.
LinkedIn Learning don't suck.
They don't suck. They do not. Except for a lot of the videos they have on this are for previous versions, and they're like a year old already. So if I go to train on something on Dynamics 365, it's a year old. And none of the menus are in the same place. The software looks different. In theory, the functionality is the same, but you just can't find it. You find where does this go? Where does that go? So, Microsoft, you suck. Do better. Quit updating and changing stuff so often and fix my damn function keys.
Please.
And that's all I got to say. So it was a good week. Anything you looking forward to this week or this weekend?
Oh man, Memorial Day, brother. I'm on a new diet.
Uh-oh.
It's been 2 days. I'm counting calories. I've tried this before, but some reason it's working better this time. I don't know if I just choosing to be more disciplined.
Yeah.
But just looking at, and I mean, it's pretty much a food diary. You type in what it is, right? So, the only the only thing I could figure out is don't eat white.
Yeah,
Like,
rice and bread, and yeah,
I,
I get
I
you.
mean, like I'm on the way to get a cheeseburger right now, right? The cheeseburger, I had already put the info into my little app. The cheeseburger was 840 calories. I have not had a meal in 2 days that was over 750. This was just a cheeseburger. Every meal I have ate the last 2 days, 2.5 days, have been 750 or less.
Right
And I
on.
was like, I'm gonna go get a cheeseburger. 840 just for the cheeseburger.
Yeah,
Took the mayo off, took the bread off, 600.
right on.
600. So
Back in the range.
what I can right. So what I can tell is, and then they give you basically the app tells you and say how much weight you want to lose, and it'll say if you want to lose that amount of weight, and it gave me two options. 2021, if I ate these many calories, I
Oh
would
wow.
that I was 100 pounds. Right? You would lose that amount of weight by such and such date in 2021, or eat these many calories and you'll lose that weight by whatever other time. It was two, one of them, they were two different, one was way out in 2021 and the other one was somewhere in early 2021. So I
Yeah.
chose the one that was sooner, provided I stay disciplined enough to stay on it. But long story short, don't eat white.
Nice.
I'm like, that's what it's coming down to, man. Like, sugar, which I don't have a problem with giving up. Um, Even though these are still bad for you, and it's still 0 calories. Um, don't drink your calories. People have said that a million times before.
Oh yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm gonna lose weight, but I probably get cancer. Um,
From the sweetener.
from the sweetener. So, I mean, like right now, I put the meals in already, and even with just the cheeseburger, now I'm down in that 600 range. There's no fries, there's no nothing on that.
Yeah.
But I think I still have 800 calories left. So I mean, I could get fries. I probably want. I'm probably just gonna choose a small dessert. So you can still eat whatever you want. You just really count in your calories. But the crazy part is when you look at, you're like, I can have this much for 750, or I can have a Dairy Queen Blizzard Mini
Yeah.
for 750. You'd be like, well, I'd rather be full.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you eat that. So other than that, brother, it's been going pretty good, and it's just really a matter of discipline. I mean, the great Neil Hall said to me one time he respected girls that didn't want to mess with him because he was too heavy. He probably don't want me to tell his story, but he said I respect it because it's an indicator that I might be undisciplined, and so that kind of stayed in my head, and then it came back in my head last week when I was in Chicago, living the life, eating deep dish Italian beefs, piece of puffs.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I was eating good,
Oh.
and all I could, and with no gym because of the pandemic, I was like, man, my life got to change. I got to do something. So hopefully, if I stick with this, by the time the gym come back, and I could do both, I can get to where I want to go to faster.
Good. Good. Yeah. I've been trying to lose some weight too. I've lost probably 20 pounds over the last 3 or 4 months, but I need to lose more. But Memorial Day weekend, I'm looking forward to too because I get Monday off, which is great. I need some time off. Um, but also, I've been riding my bicycle a lot lately, so I've been putting some real miles on it. Like last Friday, I rode 18 miles. Then on Sunday, I rode 15 more. Then on Monday, I rode 18 more.
At one
So
time,
yes,
not like 2 miles and 2 miles and 2 miles again.
no, 18
18
at a time.
at one time.
Yes.
You might
So
want
there,
to go
there's
and invest in one of them. You might want to invest in one of them Pelotons.
no, because man, I don't want to do it inside the house. It's nice out there. There's a trail that about
Have
a
you
half
seen
mile
a
from here.
Peloton?
Yeah, I've seen.
All right.
It's still it's still inside. I can look at the screen, but it's still inside the house. Out there,
All
man,
right.
the air's fresh when you go through the woods, and there's like a wetlands area corner back there, and the trail goes like all the way down to downtown from here, which is like 15, 20 miles. But I turn around at like Las Colinas and come back north. But it's good, man. It's a beautiful trail out there. Lots of people out there on it. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm probably going to ride again tomorrow if the weather permits, and then probably try to ride a couple times this weekend too. So my goal is to get to like 20 miles and do 20 miles 2 or 3 times a week. So
all right, right on,
been digging it.
right
Been
on.
digging it.
Right
so
on.
let's keep working on that.
And today's show was probably 50% non-sports, but we'll get better. We'll get better the next time, people.
we had fun doing it. We hope you had fun listening or watching or whatever, platform you're watching it and listening to us too. But
listen, you don't have to listen. For all you people that might be looking on YouTube, just get your phone, cut it on, and then set it down. You don't have to look at us. I mean,
that's true.
I mean, it's supposed to, it's a podcast. You ain't really supposed to see us.
That's right. So listen to us on anchor.fm/preachers from the bleachers, or also on Spotify or whatever podcast site you have. I think you can find us on several different ones. That's a great thing about anchor.fm is they broadcast to these other sites. So, all right, we're going to get off here, man. It was good to talk to you again this week. And guys, thanks for listening. All right.
I'll let your boy. Later.